Hi, everyone. Welcome to today's pregame media availability. We have Tianna Hawkins and Jazmine Jones here. Kareem, can we start with you?
We sure can. What's up, everybody? How are y'all? Hey. I'm going to start with you, Eric. I want to ask you about the scrimmage yesterday. How did it go? What'd you take from it?
It was good. I mean, I think everybody felt like it was nice to play somebody besides our coaches and the practice guys. So that was good. And, Minnesota, as I mentioned the other day when we talked, always challenges you in certain ways. They're not going to let you just run your stuff easily. They're going to rebound. They're going to screen really well. So that's a good test. It's always a good measuring stick. Like, this is a little earlier than normal, but it's good for us early in camp.
Mm-hmm. So anything specifically you learned from it? I know it's just one session, one couple hours. So I don't know how much you take from it, but is there anything else that you kind of learned from those couple hours?
I mean, I think it's a good reality check in some ways. Not that we needed a reality check, but when you're going through some concepts in practice, like getting around screens, off ball screens, and then you have people really trying to hit you on staggers and back screens and all that, you realize kind of the importance of being on point with our communication and sticking to what we're supposed to do.
And just one last one for me, and then I'll let other people talk. Tonight, is it kind of more of the same? Does it take on? How is it different than going against the same team yesterday? And kind of, I guess, more in a practice situation. I guess the rules of the game you guys will kind of have a little bit more stricter. But and in addition to that, are lineups a big deal at this point, or is it kind of too early to really kind of start thinking of getting that specific?
I think we're kind of probably at this stage in camp more in terms of lineups and stuff, looking at just managing everybody's minutes, getting people where they need to be. These two have played games more recently, but Tianna, it's been a month or so now. And so it's, kind of each player's in a different spot. So trying to make sure they get what they need at this point in camp. And then yesterday was just more controlled. We didn't put a clock up. We did a certain number of possessions. So they will get more, game situations, time and score, that type of thing, which will be good for us to work on.
That's perfect. Appreciate you.
Jen?
Hi, everybody. Eric, starting with you, I know it's kind of early to be asking about defense, but I'm going to do it anyway. Because
Brittany, that's what training camp's all about.
Brittany brought it up the other day that she was, enjoying looking over and seeing Tosh as another lockdown defender. So I'm curious, number one, how does the defense look so far? And number two, last year I remember you talking about wanting to switch sometimes, but not too much. And you seem to have a ton of switchable pieces. So just curious how you're thinking about that this year with the talent that you have.
Yeah, I mean, it's something we talk about every day, kind of how much switching do we want to do. I think it's important for us to get our, base concepts in, our base rules. We know we have people, you mentioned Tosh and Brittany, but, Jazz and Ariel and Avina that are with the group here all fall into that category, Shatori, that it's important that we know if we're going to switch, why we're switching and not just doing it kind of as a default or a lazy habit. And that's what we're trying to avoid early on. I know I'm putting a few more restrictions on than some of them want in terms of switching, but we need to get a little chemistry first.
And then I wanted to ask you real quick about Alicia Jenkins, Jazz's teammate in Israel. Just curious, because she's been out of the W for a couple of years, how she got on your radar and what you've seen from her so far.
Honestly, a little bit through following Jazz this offseason. We were keeping tabs and remembered her from the bubble and from college. And obviously, the rebounding numbers are the first thing that jumped out. And we kind of asked Jazz about it, and Shatori and Shakira, who were in that league also. We just felt she was somebody worthy of a shot. She plays with a huge motor, and I think it's been very coachable and, trying to be in the right spots. So she totally deserved to be in a camp, and I think she's done well.
And turning to Jazz and Tianna for a second, wanted to ask you about one of the newcomers to the team in Amanda Zawibi. Jazz, I know you played with her a little bit in New York, or with New York, because I guess that was the bubble year. But just, what has she been like on and off the court so far?
I mean, Amanda's a great vet. She's a great leader, great personality. And then me and her already have chemistry on the court with each other. Like you said, I've been playing with her my first year in the bubble. So just bringing that here, we know what each other like to do offensively and defensively, and we kind of play off each other a lot. You could, like earlier days in camp, you could see the connections we were making on the court. And so I think me and her, we get along on the court for sure. It's a great piece to have.
Awesome. Just to piggyback off of what Jazz said, no, she's a great vet. She's come in and been able to pick up schemes, from day one. Her style of play fits well into what we want to do both offensively and defensively, and she also fits in our culture. So, it gets no better than that. So she's been a great addition, to our roster.
And then last one, just real quick, Jazz, this is going back to that story you told on Monday about blowing up Kira in Israel. Do you remember, was that the first or the second game that you played her?
It was the second game. It was the second game. No, actually third. It was the third game, and it was the first round of playoffs type of thing. And like I said, I was just trying to change the tempo of the game. You know what I'm saying? Kira, she was an innocent bystander. That's all it was. Like if it was anybody else, it would have happened the same way. Kira just so happened to be in that position, and she got the hard end of the stick of it. So I mean, but like at the end of the day, we talked about it after the game. Kira was like, "Dang man, they say football." I was like, "Kira, I'm just trying to change the tempo of the game. We needed to win this one, so I had to do something to put my team on my back." So
Sounds good. Thank you.
Wayne?
First of all, how you doing, Coach Eric?
Great, thanks, Wayne.
No problem. I know you coached before. You had the feeling when your father got ejected. I know you've had it, but now that you have this,
I better correct that. He didn't get ejected. I never had to coach because he got ejected. He was sick.
Okay,
he
sick.
on the record straight.
My bad. I'm sorry. Don't give me Coach. But I'm just saying, like, you've done this before, but now that you have like your first scrimmage, though, how does it feel knowing like your head coach, Eric Thibault?
Yeah, I'll be honest, it's a little different in preseason. We want to win, we want to play well, but there's different agendas when you're in preseason. You're trying to make sure you develop good habits, and honestly, it's a little bit different just managing the roster and trying to make sure, like I said, people get what they need in terms of minutes and reps and certain combinations. So it's different. I mean, it'll still feel like a game, but we just have some different objectives than we might during the regular season.
Appreciate you. Next one for Florida. First of all, how you doing, Florida?
I'm good. What's up, dummy?
Good to see you. I'm good, Jit. There you go. Florida's finest, Baltimore's finest. Question for you. You said you played overseas, and with training camp, I don't know, maybe what if you worked on your game during this past season that you've kind of seen in these couple of days of training camp? Like, okay, wow, I'm really putting the work in this area of my game.
Just with shooting the basketball, being more consistent offensively and defensively. Main thing for me coming into training camp was putting multiple good days together. I know in the past I had, up and down roller coaster days, but now I'm just trying to focus on taking it one day at a time, having good days each day, knowing that every day is going to present different challenges, but just taking it one day at a time, just trying to bring that same positive energy to the team every single day, and just, being myself and not trying to be nobody else at the end of the day.
I like that. TT, how you doing? It's good to see you. Question for a player like you who's been in this league, seen the good, the bad. What's kept you so grounded as you come into another WNBA year?
I think the biggest thing for me is just knowing my role and just playing within myself and just keeping expectations real. And just approaching each day the same. Like Jen said, just taking it one day at a time, and whatever the team needs from me, I'm here to deliver.
And then one more for you, Coach. I was messing with you for my first question, just juicing you up. But when you look at Jazmine, you look at TT. What is if you could just maybe give me a word, or what have you been proud of that you've seen from them in training camp? I know it's early, but if you can kind of give them their flowers, what have you liked from them that you've seen in these limited amount of days so far?
I think Jazz is just getting to a point where she's maturing as a pro, and it's what, year four, and that's about when it happens. I think especially with guards, like she said, consistent days, but I think she's just making good plays consistently. Maybe your first couple of years trying to make some home run plays and jumping over my head on the bench and all that stuff. But she's just making good plays at both ends, keeping the game simple but being aggressive. And then TT and I go back a long way. She's obviously in great shape coming in, and I've been on her about taking the challenge defensively to get up on the court and move her feet. I think you did a good job of that yesterday, which we haven't talked about yet, but you did a good job of that yesterday. And then, just feeling confident shooting the ball and shooting when she's open. So, nothing brand new with TT, but just always taking the challenge.
And then last one for Jazmine and TT. Even though it's a scrimmage, I know when I played, I got those nerves. Like, how do you kind of feel like, oh my God, we finally get to play against somebody else? Like, can you just kind of walk me through that?
Most definitely. I mean, I'm in year 10. I still have a little bit of nerves, but it's just the anxiousness of wanting to get out there to play. But it's just something we do every day. It feels good to be able to play and not just practice.
For sure.
Same. Like, I'm super excited. So like Coach said earlier, it's feel good to play somebody different. And now we're in a real life game situation now. And it's going to be a learning curve, of course. There's going to be a lot of clips we're going to take from this preseason game and learn and get better in the next couple of days in training camp leading up to the next preseason game. So I'm super excited, to learn and get better every day and just to be here.
All right. Good luck, Crib Talk.
Thank you.
That's it.
I'm all good.
All right. Thanks,
Have a
everybody.
good one.
Thank you.
All right. Later, y'all. Good luck.